Well, we're just about finished with our tours of gem fields, and I think it is interesting that we follow up with now a real, we've looked at collecting some of the things like we just heard here. We've heard about photography of some of the places. We've heard about the geology of some of the places. And now we're going to go on the collecting expedition of some of the South American countries that turn these out with Tom Nagin. Did you find the tourmaline crystal 6 feet high?
No, I didn't find any of those. I was looking. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. My first time at the symposium. I just want to say to Rob and Monica, they've done a fantastic job in organizing everything. Anyway, I'm Thomas Nagin, and for 45 years I've traveled the world looking for fine mineral specimens for dealers, collectors, museums, decorators, and jewelers. And when I would look for these things and bring them back to the States, people would often ask me a lot of questions. They'd say, how do you get these out so perfectly? Where do they come from? What are the people like? What are the cultures like? What's it like traveling in these countries? But the question people asked me the most was, can you put me in your suitcase? Can I come along with you? Well, I couldn't do that. But my daughter made a real good suggestion to me. She said, Dad, why don't you start filming your trips? So we did. And the first film we made, we took to a film festival in Los Angeles, and I was totally surprised. We won first place for Best Documentary there. This gave me the inspiration to make Mineral Explorers, which is it's a realistic travel adventure show about minerals. And hopefully it would answer all the questions that people had asked me over the years. And at the same time, maybe get new people, like our new mineral collectors out there, which I had the pleasure to meet, give new people an idea of what the mineral world was like. So, we started making that, and we were really surprised that it was played all over the country on PBS. And Rob and Arkenstone were instrumental in that they sponsored the first of our 2 seasons that we did. And it was played from LA to New York, and many stations played it over and over again. So with the help of some clips from Mineral Explorers, we're going to go on a whirlwind tour of some of the gem mines in South America, in Bolivia.
Amethyst. It's been worn for protection and courage, and even to prevent drunkenness. But mankind has been intoxicated by its purple hue for thousands of years, from the ancient Egyptians to modern-day collectors. And we're headed straight to the source of some of the world's best. Amethyst is one of my best-selling minerals, and in my opinion, the best amethyst comes from Bolivia. I travel here several times a year to stock up. The source of these stones is a mine located deep in the jungles of eastern Bolivia, but the company that operates it is headquartered in the modern metropolis of Santa Cruz. I'm here to meet up with Ramiro, who will be our guide to the Anahi mine, renowned for its production of amethyst and the unique mineral ametrine. Ramiro and his father operate the country's largest gem mining and processing company and have exclusive rights to the mine. It's a large-scale operation that processes huge amounts of amethyst transported from the mine. There are bags and bags, literally tons of amethyst here, ready to be graded and processed. I buy the natural crystals. It's the natural crystals of amethyst and the unique ametrine crystals. ametrine is different in that it's amethyst and citrine all in the same stone. Both are different types of quartz that contain tiny little amounts of iron. That's what gives them their color. When selecting the crystals, I look for three main things: depth of color, a good separation of color, and most importantly, condition. Santa Cruz is where I buy all of the nice ametrine crystals. But to get the large clusters of amethyst, I have to travel to Ramiro's other smaller facility in Puerto Suarez. Along the banks of the Laguna Cáceres, in one of the largest wetlands in the world, lies Puerto Suarez. This right here is probably my favorite piece of the whole lot. The reason I like this one so much is because it's kind of like a flower, a natural flower of amethyst. Crystals are shooting out in all directions, they're large, and of really beautiful color. Once it gets cleaned up, it's going to be an incredible piece.
Yeah, we don't bring a whole lot of people here. Actually, our cluster production is pretty limited. So I have a few customers in Brazil, and then I have Thomas in the US. So I think Thomas is the only one of my clients that is really picky, and he spends money flying here just to pick the stones and make sure that they are the way he wanted.
What do you think?
What do you think?
The points and clusters are all categorized by size and color, and they're organized in grades A through F.
Oh, this is a beautiful piece. You made a mistake by putting it in D.
I can move it.
They had a great lot of amethyst there. They had really nice clusters, and they had a great assortment of single points.
Well, we wanted to see and show people where these amethysts came from. So we wanted to go to the mine. There were three ways to get there. We could take a road, which happened to be washed out at the time, and so we couldn't do that. Or we could charter a small plane that landed on a grass runway near the mine, but it wasn't big enough to carry our crew. Or we could take a boat trip up the Paraguay River, through the Pantanal, which is kind of like the Everglades, big, only bigger, and to a lake that was near the mine. They used this route to transport the amethyst at that time, so that's the choice we made.
The Anahi mine is located deep in the jungle near the border with Brazil. As the crow flies, it's just over 90 miles from Puerto Suarez. But Ramiro suggested we take the scenic route, a 6-hour, 150-mile boat ride through the Pantanal.
This looks good, man.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Actually, that is not our boat. It's this one, the boat we're going to take.
It's this one?
This one, right.
Oh.
The aluminum one.
You're kidding.
No, that's right. Actually, this is the fastest boat we can get to the mine.
Oh.
You know, they have bigger boats, but it will take like 4 more hours.
Oh, 4 more hours.
Yeah.
This is a long trip through the Pantanal that is filled full of alligators and anaconda and piranha, and they gave us a couple of dumpy little boats to go in. They said, though, that they would repair the holes before we left. Right in the heart of South America, right in the middle of nowhere, this is the Pantanal. Covering approximately 65,000 square miles, it's the largest wetlands on the planet. Surrounded by dense jungles sheltering the world's largest concentration of wildlife, you can't help but feel like a modern-day explorer traveling into the unknown. further we go, the more isolated it feels, with only the occasional farm and a few rickety shacks lining the shores. Needless to say, if you get in trouble out here, there's no one around to help. Uh-oh. Boy, we're only about an hour and a half into the trip here now.
He says don't worry, it's only the engine.
¿Estamos bien? ¿Qué pasaba?
Es mañoso.
¿Eh?
Es mañoso.
Mañoso. What's mañoso?
How can I know?
How can I know? That's not very encouraging. This is not the kind of place you want to get stuck. The Pantanal has flesh-eating wolves and jaguars on land, and flesh-eating crocodiles, anaconda, caiman, and piranha in the water. But the worst are the flesh-eating mosquitoes who descend on you hundreds at a time.
Nice dance. Yeah. Where's the music?
Lots of mosquitoes. Because of our continuing engine trouble, our 6-hour boat ride lasted 16 hours, with us arriving well after dark. We're all really happy to be back on dry land, but our journey to the mine is not over yet. This long, overgrown road cuts a narrow path through the jungle from the water's edge to the mine. It's a bumpy ride, especially for our 2 cameramen bouncing around in the back of the pickup. Deep in the jungles of eastern Bolivia, far below the surface of the earth, is a world of natural wonder, where the most basic elements combine to form some of the most unique crystals known to man. For the last 20 years, Ramiro's company has been working to bring this world to the surface through a complex series of underground tunnels. It's no wonder they believe this is the devil's lair. You can feel the temperature drop as you climb down. The air smells musty, it's dark, and the only living things down here are bugs and bats. There are about 6 kilometers of tunnels here, some of them nearly 300 feet deep. It's an eerie feeling being this far beneath the Earth's surface. To extend the tunnels, they use a combination of drilling and blasting, making small holes in the tunnel walls for the charges. But all of the excavating is done by hand. All of these tunnels follow quartz veins, but one vein led them to what is now the pride of the Anahi mine. This is believed to be the world's largest gem pocket. It was discovered in 1993, but because it's such a natural wonder, they've left it intact all these years. Their hope is to take it out in its entirety, but that would be a really huge feat of engineering. The cavity's about 20 feet deep, and they estimate it'll weigh almost 50 tons when it's taken out. That's a lot of amethyst. Really beautiful. Man, this is just something, just being able to be in a cavity like this. Not only is its size impressive, but also the quality of the crystals. Amethyst points are not usually this big with this good of color, and they're exceptionally clean. You see, usually amethysts are found caked in mud and covered in iron stains. But over the years, this cavity's been washed clean, revealing the natural beauty of this amazing discovery.
Now, we're going to skip over and go to the Atachiaya mine in Minas Gerais, Brazil. We were lucky enough to be there, and it's really rare, when they hit a pocket of aquamarines. Hola, Jeline.
Hello.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem.
Chilinho just uncovered a new pocket of aquamarine, but like all good treasures, there are some risks. So what do you have there? Whoa.
Yes, something you must to take care when you are in the mines. We have some scorpions everywhere. So,
Scorpions everywhere.
yes, you must be careful when you take some stones. When you walk, you must watch for snakes before you enter.
Oh, you have snakes too?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Dragons? Atachiaya also produces other minerals. Hints of these beauties are all along the path to the mine. Mica everywhere. Okay. This is a cluster of mica here. Now, it hasn't been cleaned yet. It's going to be really beautiful when it's clean. But this has just come out of the mine, and it's got a little bit of Clevelandite on it. The white is the Clevelandite. So, Jelinho, how far does this go into the mine? How far does the tunnel go in?
If you go straight, it's around 200 meters.
200 meters?
Yes.
Wow. All right, I'll let you go first,
Yes.
just in case there's any snakes. Notice you have a lot of wood in here.
When you start to open the tunnel, they fall, and you have to put another one and go very slow.
Did you have people hurt
No.
when it falls?
For many years, my father worked with mines since 1960. He never had an accident inside the mines.
Wow, that's great. That's a great record.
When you go walking from here, you will see how the rocks are changing. You will see in this place, they begin to be more hard.
They're more solid here. You know?
Yes,
So you
more
didn't have
solid. You don't need to use the wood.
Oh, okay.
But this is still not the pegmatite.
Okay.
We will walk a lot inside of this, and you see this changing before we get to the pegmatite.
Oh, okay.
The place where we produce the gemstones, the precious stones.
And look at all of the crystallization in here.
Yeah. This is the kind of line we are following, the mica.
Right.
This kind of mica, it's sign of we can have some production here.
So this right here, this really soft mica, crumbly mica,
Yes,
is
and
where you get good production out of.
you take the dirt and go to that place to clean.
To clean it, and you put it through a screen. The screen sifts out small pieces of aquamarine, which can add up quickly and are used for jewelry.
Look
What do we have here? This is where you just found it, huh?
Yes, that's what I want to show you.
Wow, look at that. This here is aquamarine, big crystals of aquamarine, and big quartz crystals, along with the mica and the Clevelandite. Oh, and look up in there.
This one I found a few days ago,
A few days ago.
and I decided to turn right to make it easier to work. When I turn right, I found another two more.
You found two more pockets?
more.
Oh, wow. That means there's a big concentration of mineralization here. But not only that, they hear hollow sounds behind here when they blast and when they're picking. That sound means there's a good chance the vein will open up into another pocket of aquamarine, which could be an incredible find. Look at that. Oh, there's a big aqua. Cool. Look, you can see the clarity of that. There's places in it that are clear all the way through. Wow, more aquas. This does not happen every day. He could feel a big crystal back there, and he's uncovering it now. They must work delicately in the pocket. Any small chip decreases the value of a stone up to 90%.
Wow. See, Thomas, this is part of the magic of working the mines. It's always a surprise.
You never know what you're gonna find.
Never know.
One of the best things about being a mineral explorer is the opportunity to see these stones as they're uncovered. Of course, it's great to have first pick of the lot, but to be part of a thrilling discovery is a real treasure. And another added bonus is the great friends you make along the way. A member of the beryl family, this blue-green beauty was thought to protect sailors on their voyages. And now, it's a must-have mineral for many serious collectors.
That Tachiaya mine, by the way, is on the same mountain that the Jonas mine, you know, where they found the big tourmalines. Anyway, now we're going to go to, while we were in Minas Gerais, we decided to go to the Pantanal mine, where Danny Trinchillo was preparing to mine tourmalines.
And the Pantanal mine is famous for its top quality pieces. It's a large operation. With attempted robberies and even shootouts, security is a big concern. Millions of dollars worth of minerals have come out of this mine, and when they hit a pocket, word travels fast. So making sure that the mine and the miners are safe is a top priority. Daniel is helping to revolutionize the gem mining business using technology that's normally reserved for industrial mines.
It's called the gallery. This is the actual body and the way it runs this way. So there's large grain size pegmatite there, which means to us, that's the center, that's the nucleus of where everything's starting.
You think you're going to find a bonanza out on this side?
That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for.
I hope you do too.
We spent a lot of money to try and figure that out. So
Yeah. By doing all this core drilling, this enables you to make an underground map of where the minerals are to help you know where to dig, because digging is really expensive, isn't it?
it's very expensive. Yes, it eats money. The mine never sleeps. We have it designed so that it's on a curve.
Yeah.
So if you're here and you're trying to shoot in or something, they can stay behind the curve.
Oh, right.
So from one door to the other door,
you gotta.
there's a safe haven.
So they can't sit here and shoot your guards. Okay. That's great.
That would be bad.
The mine itself is carefully thought out in an effort to keep the workers safe and to best utilize their natural resources.
These tunnels are now filled with water. This is sort of our water reserve. So that water is very valuable to us. We use that for cooling the drill bit head while we're drilling over there, or when they're drilling to actually drill for mining. Sta bene?
Good morning. Using their machinery, these geologists are creating modern-day treasure maps, taking the guesswork out of where to dig, saving both time and money. Oh, that's a neat machine.
So you can go about 100 meters with this machine. And that's a stabilizing ring. This has the cutting head over there, and this has the inner pipe right there that allows them to pull out, and that has the core sample inside.
How much of a core sample do they get at one time?
So this gives you 1.5 meters.
1.5 meters of core.
1.5 meters of core. See how fast it's moving?
Yeah, the drill is really moving fast now. That means they're into a schist, a very soft part of the rock.
And you can see they're cutting pegmatite because the water gives you back as white.
We're taking it out of the drill.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
look at
those are the core samples.
Core sampling is expensive, but it's helped find new production in a mine that was once thought to be nearly depleted. Using a special drill with a hollow steel tube to remove specific sections of rock, Daniel and his crew hope to find pegmatite in the samples, which will lead you to where the tourmalines are most likely to occur.
So right here, this is coming into the main gallery.
They've really done a tremendous amount of digging here, haven't they?
Oh my God. Yeah.
This is all really hard rock, too.
Yeah.
How deep does the mine go?
Well, the actual length of the tunnel at the longest point is about 800 meters.
And how far does it go underground, actually?
We're probably 200 meters underground. This is where the piece
beautiful tourmaline that's in the Peru Museum
The beautiful piece that was in the Peru came from over here. You can see here, you've got a little piece of quartz floating around. But all of this, you can see these giant feet, or the base of the
huge tourmaline.
And here you can see, right here, here's a pocket. There's even little bits of tourmaline still in there.
Oh yeah, there is tourmalines in there.
Tourmaline here, here's quartz.
Colored tourmaline, yeah.
Here's clevelandite or albite, finely crystallized.
Right.
Big lepidolite in here. Most people don't realize the type of energy it takes to bring them the pieces that we pull out of the earth.
Must be a tremendous feeling of accomplishment.
It's not just me. I mean, I'm someone that organizes and helps, but it goes to every single person here, from the cook to the guy who's helping load the pipe to the electrician that comes in and runs the cable and checks the lights. To it's everybody plays a role.
And it looks like you have a great team here.
We have a good team.
Yeah.
We have a good team. It's a great team.
Well, I'm all about.
Many of the best tourmaline pieces in private collections, and as well as many of the fine pieces in the top-notch museums around the world, came from this mine.
Position. I don't even care so much about the size. I mean, I love that it's big.
Right.
But even more important is the composition. And the fact that we have all these different species together in a way that complements. So you have contrasting colors, contrasting textures, and it just, I mean, it sounds melodramatic, but I think of this as showing how these crystals sort of leap out of the earth as they're forming. And then to end up with this piece of art that just appears out of nothing, out of fluids, to me is incredible. And so I always wanted this piece. This has a composition to it that I love.
It is. It's just really special. Like treasure hunters, mineral collectors love to share the beauty of their finds. But minerals are more than just treasures. They're a testament to the history of the earth and its peoples. These wonders of nature are physical tokens that can be enjoyed for generations to come.
Looks familiar, doesn't it? Next, we're going to visit the nearby mine of Cabo Saco in Diamantina, where they dig for the long, clear crystals of quartz, known as laser quartz.
Today, Diamantina has a new claim to fame. Characterized by long, thin crystals, laser quartz is exclusive to Brazil. Now here is a laser quartz. The source is located just south of Diamantina in the small village of Cabo Saco. It's like stepping back in time. The miners here stay in small shacks and live off the land, growing their own fruits and vegetables. I call these guys the laser cowboys. He says it's the hole that he's digging in is really narrow. It goes down about, ¿cuántos metros, Vinci?
20.
About 20 meters, about 70 feet down. He says it's very small. He doesn't think we can get these big cameras in. We could only take a small camera in. That sounded like a challenge to us. And with that, we started a steep climb up the mountainside. Pedro was explaining to me that this small vein of quartz, if you follow it, you'll run into the crystals. It goes from the top up here all the way down. Down we go.
Está bajando, Iván.
It wasn't as easy as Pedro made it look, with only a thin rope to cling to and a deep, dark hole below. This is awesome down here. He uses a drill and he uses a hammer for breaking the rock. Boy, this must be hard work. About 7 stories down, we found water, which meant we were finally at the bottom. Oh, okay. Here's a hole up here that he took another nice cluster out of. He says there's a big hole down there that he's getting ready to get into. And it's like, he says he can have a fiesta down there. It's so big. I've been down a lot of tunnels, but I'm still always excited to see where these natural wonders occur, even if it takes a little extra work to get there. Oh, halfway up. I can feel the air getting fresher. Boy, that was a good workout. It's nice to breathe fresh air.
All the mines that we visited so far are underground mines where they blast and they tunnel to find the minerals. Now we're going to go to an open pit mine in Ouro Preto where the Imperial topaz is the prize.
Likened to the color of the sun, Imperial topaz is unique to Brazil and its most coveted mineral. The Coca mine, just outside of Ouro Preto, is one of the world's last remaining Imperial topaz mines. It's a really high-pressure hose. They dump the material and then they wash it down. I could use this type of pressure in my shower. So here the material flows through here and it's slowly washed and rolled around so the rocks are separated from all of the mud, and then it's dumped into the conveyor, and there they can sort it, and they look for the topaz. There are 3 people that are looking for the topaz. If it goes by one, the second one will catch it. If it goes by the second one, the third one will hopefully catch it. Then anything that's left over is just thrown away. So when they find a topaz, they take it and they put it in this tube here. There it's stored until the end of the day, and then they take all the topaz back to the office and they put it under a key. Now here is a very special piece up here. May I pick up? This is a beautiful Imperial topaz. This piece here is so unusual, not only because of its clarity, but also because of its color. How much do you think a piece like this might be worth?
It's hard to tell.
But you wouldn't cut this, would you? No.
I shot whoever cut it.
I understand, because it's so hard to get a natural specimen with this type of quality, yeah, and this type of gemminess. With every great mineral is a great story, and that's what being a mineral explorer is all about. It's not just collecting rocks, it's also collecting and sharing the stories behind the stones.
Now, we're going to travel to the Lily Mine in Peru, where we'll meet up with a well-known mineral dealer. Some of you might know him. Here, atacamite, selenite, gem chrysocolla, and beautiful druzy quartz are the prize.
This is no man's land. A land so barren, so seemingly devoid of life. But nature is full of surprises. Out here among all the beige are beautiful minerals bursting with color. Rob.
Oh, hey, wow.
Look at this, Rob.
Uh-huh.
Nice little cavity.
It's
Just laying around on the dump.
a lot of times all you see are the veins on the outside, and you just have to
Break it open and see what's on the inside.
Yep.
Rob is a friend and business associate. The majority of his time is spent traveling to galleries, museums, and mineral showrooms, not in holes in the ground. Initially, they discovered some copper minerals right up here, and they started digging this giant hole straight down. Then they dug this tunnel that we walked in on, and now what they're doing is they're digging straight down over here. They moved a lot of rock. The small operation above ground doesn't even begin to suggest the amount of work happening below.
So here's what they were actually following. They were looking for veins in the rock that had mineralization of calcite. And these are actually big blocks of calcite. You can see if I brush the dirt off, this is solid calcite, which are parts of giant calcite crystals. And in that calcite, where there were cracks, are veins of the copper-rich minerals that they're chasing. And you can see how the blue here would have formed on the surface of a crack in the calcite.
They tell me that down here, there's a lot of mineralization and there's some minerals that we can see on the walls. We'll see what we find. You never know what you're gonna find. Oh, here's some rope. Good. I'm glad that I'm not working down here every day. Wow. There's all kinds of calcite and selenite laying all over here.
So Thomas is about 40 meters below us, down a couple of ladders and a rope. And what happens is they've got to get rid of all the rock they're mining down there as they follow this newest part of the mine where they found the atacamite crystals. So all the rock comes up here. They've installed a steel rope hoist. It's hydraulically powered and held down to the ground with about 1,000 pounds of cement bags. Everything comes up, the good specimens, the things they want to keep, put to the side on the planks, and then the buckets of waste go onto this chute, which brings it right down into the waiting cart. And that has to be hauled out by hand. It's a lot of work.
The majority of what they're after is raw material for cutting and polishing. But sometimes they find a specimen that's best left as nature intended. This is really rare. We found some atacamite growing right in the walls. Atacamite and selenite. Big atacamite crystals. These are unusually large atacamites, and you just don't see them. Very prized by collectors.
Hola, Rob.
Yeah,
¿Qué tal la bajada?
How's it going down, Rob?
I'm okay. You know, it doesn't look this deep from up there. This is totally unstable and unsafe. Oh, wow. I just gotta get this. I mean, this is actually a specimen.
Yeah. The Lily Mine produces some beautiful examples of Mother Earth in crystallized form. Atacamite, selenite, and druzy quartz. Now we're going to visit Chivor in Colombia. I spent about 5 years in Colombia. I had a quartz mine there and spent some time buying emeralds there. But we were invited to go to Chivor by Gloria, whose father is the owner of the mine. These mines are rustic and often dangerous.
It had been raining a lot when we were there, which made it even more treacherous.
I was eager to get in the tunnels, but with all the rain, I'm now feeling a bit concerned. This area is largely composed of shale, which is soft and unstable. But a little rainwater is nothing new to the men and women who work here. It's just another day on the job. This is, Hugo's telling me this is one of the tunnels that's the lowest of all of the mines. And all of this water that's coming out of here is coming from up top. It's working its way down to this tunnel. When you're this far into the side of the mountain, it's best to stay focused on the prize ahead, rather than the tons of earth that are above you. So we push on and are rewarded with signs of hope. When we first came into the mine, the rock was really dark and it was very hard. And then we came into this new zone here where the rock is soft. They call it kaolin. Now, they don't find emeralds in this part of the mine, in this kaolin, but it's a sign that they're getting close to the emeralds. As we inch closer to the action, the path leads us up out of the water to more solid rock. They just did the blast, and this right here is the vein that it was uncovered. And we're finding little pieces of emeralds on the floor. Now, they're not the top quality emeralds, but it's a sign that they're going to be hitting some nice ones soon. I think if we spend some more time here, we could probably find a lot more emeralds on the floor. But for right now, I think we're going to head back to the office. They've told me they have some nice emerald crystals that I can take a look at. Blasting, flooding, drilling, and soft rock are all powerful inspirations for a quick exit. Here you have these are all natural crystals. Kind of like what I really look for. They're all natural crystals. They have nice terminations. They are nice and transparent, most of them, except at the base. They are light on color, though, so they probably won't cut really great stones.
Yeah, I think it's better to leave them this way, to show or to sell to anybody who wants to buy them. But if you cut them, you're going to lose weight, so that's not a big deal for you.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. There was just a cave-in right here, just right beside the opening that we came out of. The side of the mountain just came down. You can see it right over here. It's because of all the rain that happened. This whole big pile of dirt and rocks right here just came down off the mountain. Yeah. Gloria says we need to look and see if there's any emeralds in there.
While risk is inevitable, rain certainly adds to the instability of the area. It's amazing to see how much work goes into discovering these elusive gemstones.
Thank you.